you and I were gonna have a conversation about sage and why you shouldn't be burning it, especially not white sage or any of the black sage you find at like Ross or anything. You should not be burning this sage. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Allie, how do you know when you're looking through this what's sage and what's not? It all just looks like sort of brownish green to me. This is a black sage bush. You can tell by the leaf shape. You kind of have a bumpy leaf in a very like oblong little shape here, and they bud out like this during the spring after the rains. But more importantly, I can tell that they've all been hit because they have, every single plant out here has these sharp cuts at the edges of what used to be the periphery of these plants. And then when I look down the way, I see sagebrush, 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 sagebrush. I see one over there, I see one back there. And then when I look up into the hills, I see a lot more gray and brown, the gray and brown of these. I see a lot more gray and brown up the slopes than there should be. And like, I get it, the colors might be hard for some people to see. It's a desert scape, colors kind of blur together if you're not from out here. I have lived in California on and off for most of my life. I started living out here when I was 11, digging around the chaparral as a kid. I graduated high school out in the Mojave Desert, and now I'm living here in Southern California as an adult, working out in these desert areas. One of the big issues is that people don't consider just how delicate and easily killed desert scapes are, and that really holds true with these sagebrush plants, both white and black sage, and a few other different kinds of sages that grow out here in Southern California in the chaparrals. So here we have another sagebrush, kind of off this access trail. This is an access trail for the electrical lines. But then we go back in here and you see tons more sagebrush. But what I see as someone who has a lot of experience out in these wilderness areas is I see trails. I see plants that are knocked down right there, where people have been dragging probably large duffel bags so that they could snip everything off of these plants, completely denude them off every single one of these plants that should be bright green right now, but is sort of brown. All of these sagebrush were harvested specifically for the holistic, new witch, all this kind of spiritual demand for sagebrush. That's why you're starting to see more black sage in the market, especially as white sage populations, which are very, very delicate and hard to maintain. Black sage is starting to take over in a lot of these places because this is a little bit hardier, but because they're fully strip mining it, like this one right here, this one isn't going to make it. You can see the full outside how it was cut down.